Hi everyone, open Word 6 Community Outreach Report. Once you open this document, if the navigation window on the left-hand side does not open, click the Find button and it'll open up. And if you choose Pages, it'll indicate that there are 4 pages to this report. I'm going to click back to the headings. These are side headings, and if you were to click to any of those side headings, it takes you right to that location in the document. On the very beginning, on the first page, the Pepper's Green Basket mission statement should actually be under the vision. So if you actually click it, you can just drag it so that it's last. So it's under the mission statement. Then I'll have you just scroll up a little bit, and these 3 rows right here, community, employment, and charitable, should actually be in a table. So originally what you were supposed to do for this document is choose Insert Table and select 3 columns and 3 rows. But what I did is I already typed the information for you. So instead, what you'll do is select these 3 rows, so just drag and select, and you can actually put this text into a table. So 3 rows are selected, choose Insert Table, choose Convert Text to Table, and it already will come up that it's 3 columns and 3 rows, and click OK. So you've put the text already into a table. What we're going to do now is add more rows and more columns. Click in the cell that says Marketing. So just click in there, and we want to add a 4th row. Just press Tab. Do not press Enter. Tab. And you'll actually start another row. And you'll type information. Type Community Engagement Events in the first cell. Press Tab. And in the next one, Sophia Martin. And then Tab, Store Operations. And then we're going to add a new row. If you hover over to the left, between the rows, which is the boundary, you see a circle with a plus sign, and that will insert a whole new row. If you hover between the 2 in the table and click the plus sign, you get a 3rd new row, and you'll type information in here. And again, Tab, Tab again. And then we're going to add, so we've added some rows. We could add more rows if you want. You just keep click the plus, you can get more rows. To delete them, you could choose Layout, Delete, Row, Delete Row. Now we're going to insert a column, and we want it between team leader and department. So again, you have that same radial button that appears, and that's Insert, and you can choose that. What you could also do is, if you're in the middle and you want one to the right, you would choose Insert Right. If you were in department, you could choose Insert Left. But it's a lot easier to just click the plus sign where you want it. The same thing when you wanted to insert more rows. If you wanted one after community outreach, you would click Insert Below. If you wanted one above it, you would click Insert Above. But it's a lot easier to just click the Insert button. So we'll click in here and insert. This one will be called Job Title. And then I would use the down arrow, and then you would type Director, down arrow, Vice President, down arrow, Director, and one more Vice President. The employment and job training, we're actually going to delete that row, so click anywhere in the first column, the second, anywhere on that row, and choose Delete Row, and it deletes it completely. So now we have 4 columns and 4 rows. Now if you'd like, within this table, we're going to, because right now it's pretty plain, we're going to add some color to it. But before we do that, if you click outside the table, there is no tab here that says table format. If you click in the tab, you get it. Table tools, it's design and layout. So if I were to say click the table tools design or the table tools layout, you will not have it activated if you're outside the table. So make sure you're in the table and then choose table tools design. There's a section called table styles. If you click the down arrow, you have lots of choices to make. So go ahead and pick something that I'm going with blue because that's the color of it right now. You can change your mind, a lighter blue, blue on the side, whatever you'd like to choose. Once you've made your choice, they have buttons over here, what's called table style options. And right now, the column, the first column, column A, that has the titles in bold. If I uncheck first column here, it takes it off bold. The banded rows, right now I have light blue, white, light blue. If I uncheck it, it takes them all the banded colors off, so it's up to you. The headings in bold, if you want to take it off. So you can just experiment to see what they do. What I would like to do is, because community outreach team and community engagement events, it doesn't fit on one row. So if you hover between, when you have between the two columns, it's called a boundary, and it changes to double arrows. I would hold and make it bigger so that it all fits on one, so it all fits across. The only thing is, it made the team leader column very narrow. So I hover at the top of the column, and you have like a solid black arrow. If you hold and drag across, and then I'll click Table Tools Layout, I can distribute the columns evenly. So at least those are spread out evenly, and the first column is wide enough. So your table is complete, and it looks nice. It matches the rest of the features in the document, and we'll continue. Click down and to the Pepper's Green Basket mission statements. Click to the left of it, and we're going to insert a picture. I supplied it with this document, so you'd have to probably save it in your pictures folder, and then click Insert Pictures, and you should have it showing up in your pictures folder and insert. Now, if you go to move the picture now, it's almost like stiff, not easy flowing, because it's called an inline object. If you click this little layout options button and choose square, you can move it freely anywhere you want now within the document. And we're going to put it to the far right. Now be careful, see the green boundary? You don't want to be on the other side because that part will not print. So make sure you are, I usually like to stay in line with the paragraph, so it's perfectly lined. You can also change the color of it. So if you wanted to go to color and maybe go with blue so it matches the rest of your document, that's fine. If you wanted to get fancy in picture styles, you could add maybe a frame around it. It's up to you if you want to add something to it or not, or just leave it as it is. Just make sure that if you do add a frame that you remove it to make sure that it's in within the document boundaries. So you have your picture there. The next thing we're going to do is you select Pepper's Green Basket Vision and the paragraph below it, so the 3 lines. And we're going to include a border around this. So choose the down arrow next to borders and choose borders and shading. And then we're going to choose a box. And it's your choice. The style is very thin, so if you want to scroll down and see other choices that are available and pick something that you like, and then you can choose the color of it, maybe darker for the boundary, maybe a little bit thicker, and then go to shading and pick a light color shading. So you have a thicker border. You want to go back to your borders and pick something else, you can, whatever you'd like. And then click OK, and it surrounds that basket vision. So if we were to view this particular page, just to show you as one page, it's pretty fancy with the table and then the borders and shading and the basket picture. So pretty nice. So now what we're going to do is go to page 2. On page 2, in the paragraph in the in this past year, so go immediately after the S in initiatives. So in the past year, individual Pepper's Green Basket stores have conducted their own outreach initiatives, and we want to elaborate more on that, so that's considered a footnote. So you're right after the S in initiatives. You're going to choose references, and you'll click insert a footnote. And what's going to happen is it's going to put a raised 1 here and bring you to the bottom of that page with a line. That's a separator line, and this is a footnote, and you'll type the following information. So what was typed as the footnote is in the prior year, at least 24 initiatives were launched. So that corresponds, when you see the 1, your eyes would go down and read the little footnote message. So the next thing we'll do on page 3 after Peppers, so this is a quotations taken directly from either a resource or a textbook, and whenever you have a direct quote, you should have a citation, a work cited where this information was taken. So immediately after the quotation, you're going to choose references. Make sure the style is Modern Language Association, so that's MLA 7th edition. And this is not a footnote. A footnote is just like more information, added in information. A insert citation corresponds with work cited. It's where information was borrowed from. So you'll click Insert Citation. There's a couple of citations places already marked within this document. We're going to do a new one, so choose Add New Source. And this is similar to EasyBib, if anyone has ever worked with EasyBib. What type of source? Was it from a book, a website? This one was actually from an article in a periodical, and then the categories change, and you're going to fill these in. So you'll fill in the information from the source, the article in the periodical, the author, the title, the periodical title, the year, the month, the date, pages, and magazine, and you'll find this on page 160 in the book. Once all your information is included, you can click OK. If you wanted to see more fields, you could click Show All Bibliography Fields, and there's much more to choose from. We're only doing the shorter version. So go ahead and click OK. If you did it correctly, it should be Chambers in parentheses. If you have Chambers, comma, 2017, then you did APA style. The MLA style does not have the year that it was copyrighted. So next we'll go to the end of the document. So Control End will take you to the end of the document, and the works cited should actually be on its own page. So if you hold Control and press Enter, you get a whole new page. So now you're on page 5. And you'll choose Bibliography, and there's 3 different versions. There's one that would be stated Bibliography, one that will be stated References, and one that's stated Works Cited. They're all the same thing. They will list your references in alphabetical order. We'll choose the Works Cited one according to the book, and they're listed in alphabetical order, and there's the one that you just completed, Sally Chambers. Now press Control Home, and we're going to do a header and a footer. So click Insert, choose Header, and choose Blank, and it's over on the far left. So if you do Control R, it brings it to the right, and what you'll do here is type your name, and then space bar. And instead of typing a number like 1, all of your pages would be number 1, page 1, page 1, page 1. So you want the computer to number them for you. So you'll choose over in the far left page number, choose current position because that's where you want it to appear, and choose plain number. Then you'll go to footer, so choose Go to Footer. And at the bottom here you want the current date, so choose Date and Time, and choose the third option and OK, and this will appear on all of the pages, but we really shouldn't have it on the first page because that's the title page. So if you click here, different first page, don't panic before we do that, I just want to show you. So as your name and the page and the date again, the name and the page number, but on page 1, click different first page. it takes it off the first page, but it remains on the second and the remainder pages. Go ahead and close, and if you were to look at page 1, there's nothing there. If you scroll down, there it is on page 2, the date, 3, and it'll even appear on the works cited page, page 5, and the date at the bottom. If you wanted to view this in full, you would choose View